Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about all things Poshmark parties. What a Poshmark party is, what does it mean, what times are they during the day, what it means to be a host, what a host pick means, and anything else that has to do with Poshmark parties. When I first started, I wish I had this kind of video to look at because I didn't know what it all meant. I got the notification that I got a host pick and I didn't know what that was. And I always wanted to know, how do you host a party? But I could never figure it out. And then one day I actually just Googled it and I looked it up myself and I actually found out how to apply. And then I actually ended up hosting several parties since. So I kind of wanted to talk about my experience behind hosting and kind of tips and tricks that I learned from doing that. And so I'm going to basically talk all things Poshmark parties. So if this is something that interests you, please feel free to keep watching. And if I miss anything and you still have questions, please comment them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But without further ado, let's talk about what a Poshmark party is and how to become a host. So let's start the video by talking about what a Poshmark party is. And I think a lot of people don't actually understand what it is, because when I talk about it to people that are not Poshmark people, they don't really understand. They're like, what do you mean? Do you host an actual party in person? Like, what is that? What does it mean to host? And all it really is a virtual setting where everyone could come together and collaborate, and they can, you know, share, like, sell, buy, you know, you could do all these different things within the party. So it's a specific set of items that are shared to the party, and you can like them, you can buy them, you can share them, you can do all the things, you can interact. And you can meet other poshers that are in that party together. So it's kind of a cool way to just interact, but also get specific items on the spotlight, so then you can sell them. So when you've logged into Poshmark throughout the day, you've probably seen the notification, join this Poshmark party that's happening now. There are 4 different types of Poshmark parties each day, and they are always at the same time. So for example, the 12 p.m. parties are always brand parties. So this could be athletic brands, this could be boho brands, this could be anything specific, but it'll always be brand specific. The 3 p.m. parties are always going to be category parties. So this will be best in shirts, best in pants, best in suits, etc. But it's always going to be specific to a type of clothing or a type of, you know, jewelry and accessories, for example. So it's always going to be specific. The 7 p.m. parties are always going to be style parties. So examples of this could be best in men's, best in kids, best in petites, best in plus size. And they also throw in the best in pets to this party as well. The 10 p.m. parties are always anything and everything in your closet. So you can share anything to these parties. There's no restrictions, there's no rules. This is the biggest party of all of them too. So I would say to be kind of cautious what you're sharing to it, because this one tends to get flooded with like a lot of items that are getting shared to it, and so it may be a little harder to make a sale sometimes just because it's more crowded and more populated. But those are the 4 parties that happen every single day, and so they will always happen at those times, but the parties will vary day to day. So one day it'll be best in shirts, the next day it'll be best in jackets. It's not always going to be the same party every single day, but they rotate. So let's talk about what it means to be a Poshmark party host. A Poshmark party host selects the host picks for the party to kind of highlight them and give them their own little section to be able to sort them. So basically any host, there's about 5 to 10 hosts per party. They go in and pick up to 100 host picks per party, and it basically puts them in a separate section that will say, okay, you can go look for the host picks. And those are typically items that the hosts think are really nice items that they want to kind of share to the party and highlight them. Each host will get up to 100 host picks per party. They kind of go by quick, so be careful with, you know, your host picks. To host pick, it means to share the item. So I didn't know what that meant at first, and I never understood it, but all you do is share the item, and if you're a host, anything that you share up to that 100 will be a host pick, and so it'll show up in the host picks section of that party. And so it's a smaller pool of items, so if the person is going there for something specific, they can go search the host picks, and it's kind of like a smaller section of all the items that are shared to that party. So let's talk about how to become a host for a Poshmark party. So this you have to apply for online, And there's an application, I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to check it out yourself, but there's a link where you type in your basic information. So you type in your name, you type in your email, you type in your Poshmark username, and then you kind of fill out some questions that say, are you eligible to host? There are 4 basic criteria that you have to meet to become a host. You have to be a Poshmark ambassador, you have to be compliant, which means that you can't have any prohibited items. You have to have 150 community shares in the last 30 days, and you have to have a lifetime amount of 7,500 shares or more. And if you don't have these items, Poshmark will do a check and they'll find out that you meet those criteria, and then you won't be able to become a host at that specific time. And when you apply to host a Poshmark party, you apply to each specific party separately. So you have to fill out the application 4 times if you want to host each kind of party. And there's different wait times for each type of party. So the 10 p.m. party, the latest party, is always going to be the longest waitlist I've found, because more and more people want to host it because it's a bigger Poshmark party. And then the daytime ones typically have a shorter wait time. I find that when I apply, it takes me a couple weeks to find out if I've become a host or not. I typically hear back within a couple weeks. But again, I've waited way longer to host the 10 p.m. parties. You apply, and then they send you an email saying that you've completed your application, and then you'll hear back from them. And then you'll get an email when you do become a host saying you've been invited to host a Poshmark party, and it'll tell you what kind of party you've been invited to host, and it'll tell you the date and the time. And then you can confirm if that date and time works for you, and if it doesn't work for you, you can reschedule. The only thing that I will say with rescheduling is I've heard from some of my PFFs that when they click to reschedule, it takes them a very long time to get back on that wait list. So I would do anything in your power to be able to host the day that they select, just to ensure that you can host sooner rather than later. Once you confirm that that date and time works for you, and you get the confirmation that you're all set to host, you have a little bit of prep to do. Now, this is when I take the time to pick my host picks ahead of time. I advertise, and I kind of get the word out there that I'm hosting. So first, what I do is I make a little ad that I post on my Poshmark page, just saying that I'm hosting a party, that if you want a host pick, comment on this post and maybe I'll give you a host pick. I also make a post on Instagram. I'm on Instagram too, so if you're not already following me over there, go ahead and check that out. But I make a post on there to tell my PFFs on Instagram that I'm hosting, and it kind of gives them a chance to get a host pick from me, because after all, those are the people that are supporting me over there as well, so I kind of want to give them a little shout out when I can. So I always pick my host picks from Instagram first, and then if I have any left over, then I go to Poshmark and pick from there. And so I make those ads, and then as it gets closer to the party, within a couple days, I tend to pick my host picks ahead of time. So I go into those comments from the people that have left comments on Instagram or Poshmark, and I go into those closets and I see if they have any items that fit that party. And I pick an item, and then what I do is I add it to my likes on Poshmark, and then I comment on their bundle, just letting them know, hey, just to let you know, I picked this item that I just liked as a host pick for this party, and I hope you make a sale, quickly or something from it. And I do that just to let them know that that is why I'm liking the item, because I know with me, if somebody likes an item, I immediately go and send them an offer. So I want people to know that, hey, I'm liking the item because I'm picking it as a host pick, not because I'm necessarily interested in buying it. It just kind of it creates a little bit less confusion when you tell them ahead of time that you're picking it as a host pick. And then that way you have all your host picks picked ahead of time, and it makes it really easy during the party to kind of go through, and you save a lot of time. You can pick them during the party, but I just find that from my experience, this has worked really good for me, because then I can spend the time also sharing my own items, and I can share others' items as well throughout the party. After I've liked all my items, I am pretty much done prepping for the party. So then when the party comes around, when the party starts, I typically will sign into Poshmark if I'm not already on the app, and then I will go ahead and go through my likes and share each of them. So like I mentioned before, the way that you share and make a host pick is by sharing the listing. So each item that you share in the party will be a host pick up to that 100 picks. And if you share your own items, they won't be host picks, but they will get priority because you are a host. So what I'll do is I'll go and share those 100 items that I have saved, as likes. And then once I do that, then I go through my own closet, share it at least once or a couple times, and then I go through and share others listings that are in the party itself and just share them and give them some love. And it's pretty much that simple. It doesn't really take much. You don't have to be on the party the entire time. So each party lasts 2 hours, but you don't have to be active the entire time. Just you want to get your shares in, you want to pick your host picks, you want to share your own closet, and you want to share some others, but you don't have to be active the whole time. You don't have to sign into the party right away. There's no like timer or you know, anything like that. So it's really nice because you can kind of do it at your own time. So if you need to come a half hour late, you have plenty of time to share your host picks and such like that. So these are my tips and tricks that I use when I host parties. And do I think it helps to host parties? Yes, I do. I think it brings attention to your closet, and it definitely brings follows to your closet. And a lot of people actually, the day before when they announce the parties, they'll come and follow you and share your listings, and so it kind of brings in more sales. I know the second party I ever hosted was my most sales in one day, so I definitely think it helps. Some parties definitely help more than others, but it's still something, and it definitely helps bring traffic to your website on a day where maybe you don't have a lot of time to share. And so like I just quickly mentioned, they do announce the parties the day before for the next day. So all 4 parties for that next day will be announced the day prior. And so then once they do that, then anyone that's hosting that next day will get basically blasted to everyone on the app. And so people can see who's hosting, so then they'll come to your page, share your listings, ask for a host pick, etc. And so it kind of gets more traffic to your page. And it doesn't directly lead to sales, but from what I've noticed, it does help bring in more sales because you're constantly getting your closet shared through those days. I notice my notifications are through the roof on those days just because people are constantly trying to share my items so I can pick them as a host pick. So if I do have leftover host picks from Instagram or the Poshmark comments, I will pick somebody that has shared my items a lot. So all in all, I do think hosting a Poshmark party is definitely worth it, and it's actually not as stressful as it may seem at first. And so I would recommend, if you haven't already, sign up to host a party or apply to host a party and see how it is for you. If you have any questions, if you're hosting soon and you're a little nervous, or you want to know how to make the ad for your closet, or if you just have a question that I didn't get to in this video, either leave a comment down below on this video, or you can message me over on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram over here so you can find me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with hopefully the answer to your question. And because I've hosted several parties at this point, and I know what goes into it, and I know some tips and tricks that I've learned that I hope I shared in this video with you. And so if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. And until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.